congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How do we feel?
It feels so good.
Liberating
Light.
is the word.
Light.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's funny. I feel liberated. I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking to Rachel and she's got her man here. He's real.
He's real.
Let's see the ring, girl. You know, we got to
Okay.
show it off. Tell us about
Ring.
it. What is this cut even called? I'm bad with rings and the specifics.
It's a pear-shaped,
Pear-shaped, yeah.
Pear-shaped.
and it's got
Oval
a halo.
Yeah.
You can explain the halo. Why it
Yeah,
has a
she had a
halo on
laundry
it.
list of requirements for the ring when I asked her. So.
But,
she
but
should.
not the halo.
Of course,
that
no, I
was,
wasn't
that
complaining.
Was him.
Wedding plans. I mean, are we waiting? Are we thinking anything already?
We are waiting,
Okay.
but we are thinking.
Okay.
So I personally would like a winter wedding
Nice.
next year.
So that's not going to be in Dallas then, because
that-
winter in Dallas is still.
It's still a little cold, but
Okay.
it's not summer in Dallas.
Which
so
is-
yeah.
We
I
prefer the
did summer
cold,
in
yeah.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're on board with the winter wedding.
Yeah, whatever she wants.
Who do we think is going to take the lead on planning? It sounds like you, Rachel.
Well, no, we're going to need a planner. I've never been the girl who had like their storybook wedding plan.
Right.
Like I got my guy, so like I'll have a planner do everything else.
I love that. I'm like melting, so I can't even like focus on my questions. Okay, so I want to know, when did you first realize Bryan was the one? At what point in taping were you like, whoa?
Well, he was always a front runner from me. I
Right.
mean, first night, first impression, first kiss, and I always saw the potential. And because I saw the potential, I put him through the ringer. Like I gave him the hardest time. But it was when I was sitting with my family and I was defending him and I was describing what he means to me and why I'm like so close to him and why he's still here. And then I started describing it and then I was like, he's like my best friend. And I heard myself say that and I was like,
And
all
you
right, girl,
realized-
you're gone. You're
You're
gone.
not even trying to convince them.
That was
You're
that
just
trouble
telling
I was talking
yourself.
about.
So we know that you guys have been doing these secret dates and incognito. So now I want to know the scoop. You can tell me, how did you pull that off? Like, what was this cloak and dagger situation? Where were you meeting?
We can't tell you where we were
What?
meeting, but there really weren't a lot of like stops pulled. I mean, other than the
No.
fact that he was Jerome, you know, we had our secret names. But yeah, there
Hats, glasses at
No,
the
we didn't do
airports,
that.
nothing
No
major.
disguises?
I wish we would have. Now that I'm thinking about it, like that would have been
That
fun.
would have been a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Was it just you're sitting at home, sort of Netflix and chilling? Were you ever able to go out on any sort of specific dates in
No.
public and get away?
We were on lockdown. They pretty much, we had cabin
Yep.
fever a couple days in, but at the same time, she actually jokes with me like, "You still love me after 4 days indoors?" I'm like, "Yeah, baby, of
Right.
course, I love you to death." So, yeah, even with all that time spent, I thought it was the best quality
Yeah.
time we had each
Yeah?
time we got together during
Yeah.
those weekends.
Would you say, you hear about the bachelor curse or the bachelorette curse, that it makes it harder to sort of get out of something like that when you have to stay tied emotionally to two people for so much longer?
I think that's a good point. Yeah, it is hard when you come to that point. You know, I cared a lot about my last four.
Yeah.
So like as you're still having to, you know, invest time in them and go on dates, it is harder. But for me, I knew what I was going to do. Like, you know, we were talking earlier, and I did tell Bryan that I was in love with him in fantasy suites, and so he was the only person that I was in love with,
Yeah.
and so I did not waver from. That was real. I stayed true to that. Cared for the other men, but with Bryan, it was on a different level.